Well, I'm glad you're here. I would like to associate now with the gentleman from the who's wearing the Astros jersey.
Why do you want to throw me down and have your way with me? Why? Why? Where does that come from? Stu, you heard it. You're sitting right there.
It was on the radio. Wow. Everyone heard it.
This is amazing. Pat is joining us now in his Astros jersey.
So finally, I think you asked this question the other day. When does this burn down Congress?
Yeah, well, this is not going to burn down Congress.
Are you kidding me?
And let me tell you something.
Are you kidding me?
Hang on. Let me tell you something. You know, and I know there is nasty stuff going on in Washington, D.C. There is nasty stuff. And if it would involve the binding of people in the basement of the Capitol and then choking them to death with whips, I would not be surprised. Mm-hmm. Okay, it's nasty in Washington from everything I've ever heard.
Well, it's worse than that. Allegations are much worse.
Yeah, now here are the allegations.
Barbara Boxer one again.
I don't think I want to. If you have children, you may want to.
You can brush your teeth after you say it.
Okay. All right. Barbara Boxer described an incident at a hearing in the 1980s where a male colleague made a sexually suggestive comment that he, quote,
this is bad,
quote, wanted to associate with the gentle lady, end quote.
Wow.
I would have looked at him and said, I don't think I even understand what that means.
I don't think I understood it.
I don't know what that means. And that's certainly not sexual harassment. If she said no, and then he said, well, then I'm going to disassociate myself with the gentle lady, then it's not sexual harassment.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I don't know what world we live in. Maybe the standards are different. We were in a world where the word apartment is racist.
No, we went through a wormhole long ago.
Okay, good.
This looks like the universe we grew up in, but it is definitely not.
So these are the 5 that they have in Congress. Mary Bono said she endured increasingly suggestive comments from a fellow lawmaker. Mm-hmm. But when the congressman approached her on the House floor and told her he'd been thinking about her in the shower, she confronted the man who she said still serves in Congress, telling him the comments were demeaning and wrong, and he backed off. Now, I mean, that's...
Okay, so no, wait.
So the word is supposed to happen,
right? Yeah, right. So the word is, I endured. Well, if you would have said, hey... back off, dude. That's inappropriate.
From the beginning.
The first time, at least what we have here, as soon as she said, I'm not interested in that, he backed off.
Yeah.
If you let it go, somebody's going to take that as like, she kind of likes this. She's fine with that. Well, no, you have to tell them the first time. Back off, dude. Not interested in that.
Yeah.
And if he backs off, then it's fine.
And if he doesn't, then he's doing something really wrong.
Then he's doing something wrong.
And again, I don't know. It's the details are important, increasingly suggestive, but it does seem like this is the worst incident, right?
Yes.
This is the one she's highlighting, where he said something that probably isn't appropriate, right? I mean,
probably
to a coworker, right?
Have I ever said to you, I thought about you while I was in the shower today?
You just
probably.
did. You just did. Probably. You just did.
And now, crap, we have it on tape now too.
I mean, but again, and there's a story that we have from the LA Times about how the idea that, and this is written by a woman who's saying, are we going too far in Weinsteining everybody? Saying look, as a woman, everybody I've dated in my entire life, I've met at work. Do I want all contact, all flirting, all of this gone? And I'm not saying that, look, you should be able, there are hints that need to be picked up. But
there's a difference between I want to associate with the gentle lady and, hey, I was thinking about you while I was in the shower today.
That's creepy.
There's a difference. And there's a difference between, hey, I was thinking about you in the shower today. Hey, dude, that's creepy. Back off. Okay. And I'm taking the page in my car on the way to work and I'm jamming my hands down his pants like Kevin Spacey. There's a huge difference.
Yes.
Huge difference.
Yeah. And other ones. Linda Sanchez, Democrat, California. When I was a new member of Congress in the early 30s, there was a married, more senior member who outright propositioned me. She said she would warn other new female members about the lawmaker in question. He remains in Congress. Again, by those details, he asked her to hook up, right? And she said no. There's no indication of him hurting her career or him getting revenge. There's no indication of that.
In fact, there's indication that she hurt him by spreading this around. And I really don't have a problem with that. Hey, this guy is immoral and he would just hit on me. I don't have a problem with that.
No.
But he backed off.
At least according to these, brief details that we have. Sanchez had another one. A different male colleague repeatedly ogled her and at one point touched her inappropriately on the House floor while trying to make it appear accidental. Now, look, wasn't there for the incident.
Yeah, and
what if it was accidental?
Right, what if it was?
And where did he touch her? And how did he touch her?
It says just inappropriately on the house floor. So again, that one could be really bad, right? I mean, if he actually did that, I mean, that's obviously.
Or it could
really
be
bad.
absolutely nothing.
It could be, right? I mean, if she's wrong, but he, again, repeatedly ogled her and then touched inappropriately on the house floor. And then finally, Hilda Solis.
Hang on just a second. The details matter.
Mm-hmm.
Because
big time, right?
Because he constantly ogled me. How many times have you thought somebody was looking at you or whatever, and it turns out they weren't? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the details matter here.
It does, right? And that's
a good example of that is, have you seen the way Megyn Kelly looks at me every day?
Oh, no.
Every day on that show.
She's telling you she's not interested because you should see how she's looking at me every day.
And former Representative Hilda Solis from California, now Los Angeles County Supervisor, quote, recalls repeated unwanted harassing overtures from one lawmaker, though she declined to name him or go into detail. I mean, so it's hard to know anything from that one.
Yeah, really hard. But I mean, look, no means no.
Absolutely.
No means no. And when you say no, that's when the line is crossed.
A couple of weeks ago, the Bob Weinstein situation came up where, he's the brother of Harvey.
Yeah.
He's part owner of the company. And there was a production assistant or one of the directors or something that he asked out to dinner. And she said no. And later on, he asked her to dinner again. And she said no. A lot of guys think that they're playing hard to get, right? And women do that. That is an interpersonal relationship game we play with each other.
Guys don't have any idea. I'm telling you, women, if you believe men are as relevant to a fish with a bicycle, you're going to get that world soon because AI is coming. Mm-hmm. And no guy
they're not going to take the chance.
It's just not going to take the chance. You're not going to be willing to go out on the limb. So guys don't know what to do anymore. And if you say yes, but then you can say no afterwards, 3 days later, go, you know what? I think I was raped. No, I'm never going to talk to you again. And it's not going to talk to women. I mean, it's insane.
And the New York Times wrote a story about how this is happening to a lot of women and that they're not getting the benefits of mentorship from older male coworkers because...
Would you?
Because the older male coworkers like, I can't even talk to you. I'm afraid to be in the same room with you because I'm going to get accused of something.
Yep, I wouldn't.
So
I would make sure that there is always a secondary person in the room. Always. If I was mentoring a woman, I would not be alone with a woman.
And you should maybe even record the whole thing so that you have the evidence.
This is insane.
I mean, it's insane.
It's an
Think
insane
of that.
world.
Yeah.
Think of that.
Roy Price, former head of Amazon Studios, remember this story? Lost his job over a single complaint of propositioning a female executive at a booze-soaked event in 2015. There is no suggestion even that Price tried to retaliate for the rejection. And he lost his job.
Wow.
I mean,
I heard a similar story from a guy on the air the other day. He said he asked a girl to dinner. She said no. He left her alone. He was called into HR the next day and fired for asking a girl out. That's
how are you going to stop?
Crazy.
How many
crazy?
How many office romances have happened in this building? I mean, people have found their spouse in this building.
Quite a few. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, somebody comes to me and says, "Hey, they asked me out." Okay, well. What'd you say? Should I be excited? I said no. Okay, why are you here? Because I want you to do something about it. Why? Has he been hassling you before? Has he asked you over and over again and you keep saying no? How many times is that? I mean, I'll talk to him, but I'm going to fire him? There's no policy against asking somebody out. This is nuts.